I think the name of the game is adaptability, right? So you mentioned minimum night bookings. A lot of hosts have minimum nights. I do not. I don't believe in them. I think that you're leaving money on the table.
Hi there, my name is Lynn.
My name is Martin May. Together, we run New Brunswick Property Deals, where we connect savvy investors, both local and from out of province, to off-market properties with amazing cash flowing potential.
So, whether you are a first time homebuyer or an experienced investor, we can find you your next investment property here in New Brunswick.
What are some of the strategies that you use for your Airbnb listings? In terms of how you decorate or how you stage,
Yeah.
or the minimum night stays when it comes to bookings.
Yeah. I mean, so for me, I think the name of the game is adaptability, right? So you mentioned minimum night bookings. A lot of hosts have minimum nights. I do not. I don't believe in them. I think that you're leaving money on the table. If you have a minimum of 2 night stay, I get rationally why it would make sense because you're paying less for cleaning and you're doing all of that kind of stuff. But if you have a minimum 2 night stay and you have one night in between each 2 night stay, that's money that you've left on the table. So I don't do that. What I do instead is I design my cleaning fee charged directly to the guest. I design that so that it's a break-even fee. And so my nightly rates can stay at a good rate that keeps me busy. But my cleaning fee sort of takes care of the cost of that turnover. So I don't need to worry about frequency of turnover. So that's one thing that I do. Another thing that's super, super key for staying busy, people buy with their eyes. So they are not reading your description. You could have the fanciest description in the world, but if your photos are crap, nobody's booking. Nobody's booking. You could have the best place, but if your photos aren't good, then nobody's going to book your accommodation. So for me, professional photography is a non-negotiable. So I work with a fantastic local photographer who comes in and she's able to turn things around for me really quickly. So we can go in and take photos, and within 2 days, the listing is up and running, which is really nice. So that's really important. And then from a decor standpoint, I think folks don't come to Moncton for the same reason that they would go to Toronto. Right? They come here because of some of the things that we spoke about earlier. The community, the welcoming nature, and so they expect that in their accommodation too, with a little mix of luxury, right? So they want to feel the luxury that they might feel in Toronto or Montreal, but they want to also feel really cozy, and so we do that with lighting. So the light bulb that we choose, that's very intentional in each room. We do that with white fluffy sheets. So we have fluffy pillows. Our sheets are white. We use duvet covers, not comforters. So we've got, nice duvets, affordable, washable also, but they're fluffy and they're white. And then we throw a beautiful crisp white duvet cover on that. And those are in the photos. So a guest sees those photos and it looks like what you might find in a hotel. It looks like what you might find if you go to the Hilton. But it's also fluffy and cozy and right. And then it's mixed with this beautiful lighting and maybe some, I love to throw antiques in my spaces, and just as decor. So I might throw a candlestick in the corner or whatnot, or like a really old mirror or things like that. And so you really have the contrast of like the crisp white, that screams clean and cozy, with the older things that that really sort of speak to being cozy and comfortable.
That's really nice.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Sounds pretty great.
Yeah, why don't you show us some listings of yours and how you know chose to decorate it?
Sure.
Um, like also for our investors, for example, if they came across a property that was used as a student rental before,
Mhm.
maybe it's trash, maybe they had to spend some money renovating. What
Mhm.
would be some of your recommendations in terms of like do Airbnb guests or short-term rental guests, do they want a nice modern kitchen? Do they want stainless steel appliances? Where do you think investors should really spend their money renovating a property, to prepare for short-term rentals?
Yeah, I mean, I think the color of appliances doesn't matter so much, but where I would say investors would be best to spend their money are things that indicate cleanliness, because that's what people care about. So floors, baseboards, coat of paint, that stuff is really important. We This is actually a sky view of on the roof of Dolma Foods, rooftop patio, before they refinished it. The owner brought me up there, and so this is just part of Moncton, on St. George here. But yeah, so things that that indicate cleanliness, because the rest of it, people are shopping your space through your photos, right? So if your photos are honest and transparent about what your space is, they're happy to pay the price that they signed up for. So it depends on the property. It depends on what price point you're thinking about renting your space for. So these are a few of my listings. So you can see, depending on the listing, we have different kinds of cover photos. And a lot of what I do is I test which photos perform better on each listing. So I may have, 25, 35 photos on something. And then, I'll test, 5 or 6 of them and just keep swapping them out. So these are a few of them. We've got all kinds of different spaces. This is a bit more eclectic, so you can see that there's a lot more of sort of the old stuff in there. And then, there's this one up here where you can see, a lot more of a more modern decor in this one. But it speaks to the building as well, which is really important. So this particular one does not have a full kitchen. It has a kitchenette. And so we can go through a few of the photos. So one thing that we do with our photos are we try to, the order that we put them in is really deliberate. And so it's in the order that you would, when you walk into the space, that you would see. So when somebody goes through these photos, they sort of know what they would walk through. So right here, to the right of this particular photo, or actually this photo specifically, we're standing at the entrance. So you open the door and this is what you see. And then maybe you walk a little bit further and now you're behind the couch. And so you're getting the view of the rest of the space. And then, we like to do some glamour shots for some of our decor that we find exciting. But again, like this, them walking through the space room and they're going towards this desk and office area. This is a great unit for folks coming in on business, because they've got the little kitchenette. They have, everything that they need to cook, but not so much, not a full kitchen, because they don't necessarily need that, but an emphasis on, workspace and a comfortable place for them to lounge, and watch TV or wind down, with a glass of wine and the fire.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah. And so here we've got, the bedroom, nice king size bed. This particular unit has a huge bedroom. And so, this couch actually folds down into a double bed, which is great.
Yeah.
So we try to, give a full picture of what folks get when they arrive.
I love the
Sure.
bathroom. I love the color. It was beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah, I really like the
they're pretty
mix.
great colors.
Really like the mix of the wide angle shots along with the portrait shots as well. To really
Yeah.
see the element pieces. But you also get an immersive view of the space. And I really like how you arrange them too. So as you said, it's almost like the guest is doing a walkthrough.
Yeah.
Through the photos.
And then at the end, we throw a few more glamour shots to just sort of show the things, the personality of the space that we think is important, like the texture of this sink, like the greenery, but then also the functionality. So like when you show up, like this is what we have. We have these glasses, we have these pots, so you don't need to worry about it. We're ready for you when you come here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's
Definitely very meticulously thought out for sure. Feel like now I see, I don't need to worry about bringing a corkscrew to open up my wine bottles.
Yeah.
So
It's always been a problem with
it's
us.
always been a problem with us at
Everywhere
Airbnb
we go.
units.
that is the number one thing that goes missing in Airbnbs. Like I think I'm replacing them every 2 guests. Oh my gosh. I because it's so small, right? It ends up in a bag somewhere, in a garbage bag or whatever. But that is the thing that I replace the most.
It is essential.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So why don't we talk about just how you could help especially out of province investors with their short-term rental property management needs.
Yeah, for sure. So we do short-term rental property management. I've got a team, a maintenance team. I've got a cleaning team that I work with, and so for folks who are out of province, we can sort of take over and do it all. So we can, you basically give us the keys and you don't have to think about it. We'll send you your money every month. So we'll take care of the marketing, we'll take care of the cleaning, the turnovers, and we can also take care of everything from maintenance of a property, but also, as I mentioned previously, I do flips and rehabs. That's my own investments are all rehabs. So we have a team that can lead that as well. So if an out of province investor has bought something that needs a rehab before it's ready for the short-term rental market, we can certainly step in and be a part of that, as well as the decor and the buying for furnishings and all of those elements. So really, like we can be a catch-all.
So yeah, if when our investors, when they're ready to work with you, what's the best way for them to to reach you and get in touch?
Yeah. So the best way is actually through Facebook. So a Facebook message, either through my personal account or through my my Facebook page. So Get Elbow Room. So yeah, Get Elbow Room on Facebook. My website is also getelbowroom.com. So
Cool. Yeah, we're
Perfect.
actually talking about the name. How did you come up with that name?
everybody asks me that question. I came up with the name. It was actually really hard for me to come up with a name. I really dug deep about why I do what I do, and for me, my business is about creating space. So whether it's creating space out of a home that has been neglected, that needs some love, I create space that way. It's also about creating space for the people who I buy homes from. Often the homes are burdensome properties. So, I'm helping them to create space in their own lives by taking away some of their burden. And so, with space, you get a little bit more elbow room to breathe. And so that's sort of where it came from.